As someone who grew up in Southern California, I didn't ever think I'd see a major roller coaster operated as slow as Ghost Rider at Knott's Berry Farm. Like, that attraction consistently has a 2-hour wait because the operations are just so slow, and of course the ride itself isn't the highest capacity thing, but still. Then I got to ride Iron Gwazi at Busch Gardens Tampa, and I found the worst operations I've ever seen on a high profile roller coaster, because holy cow, this ride is a disaster. There are plenty of RMCs across the United States, and I think this one is the slowest operations by far. And of course, this is a hyper hybrid. This is literally the tallest, fastest, and steepest out of all of the other ones, so it's gonna have a huge crowd. And of course, it's at Busch Gardens Tampa, which is a very highly attended theme park, and it operates year round. When I got to visit in July, I was met with ridiculous lines. Like, even as someone who had quick queue, I still had to wait 25 to 30 minutes to ride the ride, even though there weren't that many people in front of it. It was only like 3 or 4 dispatches worth of people, but it still took forever. And when I rope dropped the ride, I was expecting like a 20-minute wait at most, and I waited 45 to 50 minutes to start my day at Busch Gardens Tampa, so I was very unhappy with that. So let's dig into why this is. Why are they so slow? When you first enter the attraction, you're going to be met with a locker policy, so you're not allowed to bring anything that won't fit into your pockets onto the ride platform, which isn't the biggest deal in the world. There are plenty of major roller coasters that have a policy just like this. Just look at Copperhead Strike and Fury at Carowinds. But the way that they do it is really inconvenient. Like, you pretty much have to wait in line for the lockers to get in line for the roller coaster. And it's not like the Disney or Universal lockers where they had like multiple banks and they had a bunch of cast members there helping people out. At Busch Gardens Tampa, it's really only one dude telling people, hey, you have to put that in a locker if you want to ride this ride. And then they have to sit there and complain for 2-3 minutes, and then they put their stuff in a locker, and then just repeat that process over and over and over again for a line's worth of people. It's just absolutely ridiculous. Like, they could have done a much better job pre-spieling to all of the guests, like, hey, all your stuff has got to go in a locker if you want to ride this ride. Obviously, they would still be upset with it, but they wouldn't take time complaining about that to the one person who's trying to keep the line moving, you know? So it's just absolutely ridiculous. It's terrible. And most parks that have a locker policy like this have really efficient operation. So really, it's the worst of both worlds with Iron Gwazi. You have a terrible, annoying locker policy, and you have terribly slow operations that still make the line move incredibly slow. Just like a lot of other major roller coasters, Iron Gwazi has a seatbelt and a lap bar, but Busch Gardens Tampa makes their ride attendants check seatbelts before they even start lowering lap bars. So they're going to go through the entire train twice. They're going to check seatbelts, and then they're going to restart. They're going to tell everyone, okay, pull down your lap bar, and then they're going to go through and check everyone's lap bar. So it's just really annoying. That's just so trifling. As I mentioned, Copperhead Strike and Fury have a similar policy. Those are both coasters that both have lap bars and seatbelts. Carowinds allows their attendants to check both at the same time, which saves a lot of time. It's really, 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 really stupid how Busch Gardens Tampa is running this thing. For one of my rides on Iron Gwazi, I was sitting in the back row, and I watched someone rush to the side, set something down, and rush back to their seat really quickly. So one of the operators was going through and checking their seatbelts, and when they went to go check the lap bars, they noticed the object that was sitting on the ride platform. So they walked over, they picked up the object, they yelled out, "Whose is this?" And then obviously the person was like, "Oh, it's mine." And then the operator took so much time to walk over and lecture the guest about how their policy works. And that's just so infuriating. It's so stupid. Like, you could have done that so much quicker. You didn't have to open a textbook to page 33 and start reading from the operating manual about Iron Gwazi, you know? Like, come on, dude. You have an hour's worth of people waiting to ride your attraction, and you take the time to tell one person that they can't have a stupid, like, water bottle or something to the side. I don't even know what it was. I think it was like a wallet maybe. Like, that's so small. And another ride that does this is Joker at Six Flags Discovery Kingdom, and I hate this policy. Like, why? It's out of the way. It's not a safety concern. Why are you slowing your own operations down just to yell at one guest for not following your stupid policy? It's ridiculous. It's unacceptable is what it is. So Iron Gwazi is an absolutely amazing roller coaster, but the way that Busch Gardens Tampa is treating treating their operators and by association treating their guests is just ridiculous. It's appalling, and this really needs to be fixed. Like, I can't believe that Iron Gwazi has worse operations than Ghost Rider. Like, I heard it was bad. I didn't realize it was this bad. And this is just ridiculous, you know? Like, their policies are insane. You have a locker policy which should promote good operations, but they don't promote a efficient atmosphere in the workplace for their ride attendants, and they have inefficient policies in regards to checking restraints. So it's just absurd. It's ridiculous. And obviously another solution to this would just be to staff the ride more, especially since Iron Gwazi used to be Gwazi, which was 2 different tracks, and when you have 2 different tracks, you literally need double the amount of people to run the attraction. So they could have just kept the same amount of staffing to run Iron Gwazi, and this really wouldn't be much of an issue at all. So it's just insane. It's terrible, and Busch Gardens should be ashamed. They gotta fix this. This is insane. Thank you for watching my little rant. Thank you for listening. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and I will catch you later.